Story 1. My breath smells like fart. I want to start by saying it's not there all the time, but it's there. Sometimes when I talk to people, they ask me, "Did you fart?" I know I didn't, and it's because of my bad breath. It smells like fart sewer. I know what it smells like because sometimes I can smell it if I breathe out slowly. I have been to dentists and they all say my teeth are in great condition. They don't see any infections. I also have been to an ENT, and he saw no infections or tonsil stones. Even did a CT scan. Can someone help or maybe know what is causing this? It's been there for years. Story 2. Same. I'm 30 and it's taking a toll on my mental health. I don't interact with people as much anymore. My confidence is gone. I work in customer service, and I can tell my breath reaches the customer. It's fucking embarrassing. I cannot afford to go to the dentist yet. I suck on lozenges during my entire shift. I'm seeing a doctor about my nose and mucus issues. I think I also have acid reflux. I burp at night and taste vomit, and have to re-swallow, and my mucus is greeny yellow with blood specks in it. I have a chipped tooth, and I think cavities to be filled also. It's never ending, but I'm ready to end it. Story 3. How to get rid of bad breath. It's ruining my non-existent social life. I am told that sometimes my breath stinks really bad. Because of this, I've been afraid to approach people, including those that are close to me. This doesn't help the fact that I'm an introvert by nature. I barely have any social life, and I'm unable to create any because I feel really insecure, knowing that my breath probably stinks. I had bad oral hygiene since I was young, till I was around 16. I'm 19 now. My oral hygiene simply consisted of brushing my teeth, and that was it. Now, I always brush my tongue and sometimes I floss. What can I do to get rid of this bad breath? I'm afraid that this will completely ruin me as I grow up. TLDR, my breath stinks and it's ruining my social life. Story 4. I'm a 23-year-old male, and ever since I, almost spontaneously, contracted chronic halitosis, it has affected my social and love life. I am such a sociable person, yet, in social situations I find myself constantly worrying about my breath to the point where I can't think about anything else. I can't even fathom the idea of finding a love interest out of embarrassment. I don't know, I guess I'm just wondering if anyone out there is going through the same as me. Story 5. Hey guys, I need some advice. I have been suffering from bad breath for almost 14 years. The earliest time I can remember someone telling me off was back in 2004. I was in primary school. Over the past few years, I have been noticing the reaction of friends and even some family members whenever I talk to them, constantly rubbing their noses or covering their noses. So far, none of my close friends have ever told me anything about it. I started to get really conscious about it about 5 years ago. Ever since then, I have been avoiding talking to people. This problem has literally changed me from an extrovert to an introvert. I recently went to the dentist a few times for cleaning and even checked for tonsil stones. No issues with it. Believe it or not, this problem caused me to fall into depression, and I dropped out of school 4 years ago. Now I am back in school again in a new class. I am starting to face the same issue again, problems socializing with others and getting along with others. I feel that my studies is going to be affected again. I cannot afford to drop out again. By having this problem, I feel embarrassed to speak to my teachers regarding my studies. Thus, I fall behind in my subjects, causing me to lose out compared to the rest. In my studies, which is related to shipping, I will have to go for interviews and work on a ship in the future. I cannot imagine myself in those environments with this stupid problem of mine. Recently, I went for a checkup with the doctor regarding my stomach acid. I hope that is the root of the problem. I am in the process of undergoing checkups. I really hope that I can get this problem fixed. It is not as simple as getting breath mints and sweets when the problem returns almost immediately. Despite constantly brushing my tongue and flossing my teeth, the problem is still there. Moreover, my way of socializing is also affected. I am not able to project my voice loudly due to the fact that I have not been talking to people properly. Majority of the time, I would either look down or away when talking to someone. I have never spoken to someone directly to their face. In addition to this, being changed to an introvert, I find it hard to speak up for myself. People constantly make use of me and talk to me differently. Honestly guys, I will be a totally different person once this problem is fixed. My confidence level will shoot up to 100%, and my social life would change. I really hope I can get some advice. Thanks. Story 6. It feels like I've had this problem for over a year now. I'm a 21-year-old man with depression. I take antidepressants. I would brush my teeth in the morning, floss, and use Listerine mouthwash. Then when I leave the house, my breath immediately smells. I personally don't smell anything, but I know it smells. I stick my finger on my tongue and it smells disgusting. I even use a tongue scraper called the oral brush, and yet my breath reeks. No matter what I do, it keeps smelling. My dad says it has got to be stomach acid. It is really bad. I drink coffee every day, so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. But everyone drinks coffee, why would it affect me? I'd rather have coffee breath or something, but even that doesn't happen. I just have a disgusting stench in my mouth. I can't even talk to people without others noticing. My family tells me all the time when it stinks. Just my mouth opening and it spreads everywhere. Some days it reeks and some days it doesn't. But most days it is really bad. I even try mincer gum like icebreakers, but that only works for a tiny bit and doesn't solve the problem. After I brush my teeth, the good smell lasts for only 5 minutes, then starts to stink again. Even when I just finish brushing my teeth and using mouthwash, my parents say it smells bad. The smell just won't go away. It's always there. This bad breath problem is ruining my life. I'm afraid of talking to people. I choose not to talk so they don't smell it. I have to worry constantly about my bad breath when going on dates. I tried using smart mouth rinse, and that works for a while I think, but doesn't last 24 hours. No rinse I use lasts 24 hours. I feel horrible. I feel so ashamed and humiliated for this problem. My teeth are perfect. Everything looks fine, but my breath is just horrendous, and it hurts to be like this. I'm scared of talking to people because of this. I have no idea what to do. I told my doctor, and he didn't see anything wrong. I told my psychologist, and he said antidepressants wouldn't cause that. I'm just lost. Maybe it's the Listerine mouthwash I use every day. I just read that it kills cells, so maybe that could be it. I also wear a retainer at night sometimes, like once every 3 days. TLDR, my bad breath is causing me to be afraid to talk to people, and I don't know how to get rid of it. Story 7. Hi all, I've had chronic bad breath for as long as I can remember. Finally, after 18 years of being afraid to seek for help, I decided to tackle this issue and talk to my doctor. I basically went through every possible test, and my doctor couldn't diagnose anything, saying that some people just have that naturally, and that there is nothing I can do to fix it. First, I went to my dentist, and he said that my oral hygiene is near perfect, and that my teeth are excellent. I also went to ENT doctor, and had a smaller procedure to decrease to help my breathing. I also had a CAT scan of my sinuses, and it looked fine except for me no mucosal discharge. I had endoscopy, and my stomach looked fine as well. I also did acid reflux test, which showed no acid reflux, and had the esophagus muscle test, which works normally. I also got a swab of my throat for candida, and it was negative. I had tonsil stones here and there, and got tonsillectomy last year, but no positive effect. The only thing that ever helped me temporarily was H. pylori antibiotic regimen. A couple of years ago I tested positive for H. pylori, and during the antibiotic treatment it seemed like my bad breath completely went away. I was super excited about it, but after a couple of weeks it came right back. I did another test for H. pylori to make sure I got rid of it, and the result was negative. Another thing that temporarily helped was grapefruit seed extract, but after a couple of days it stopped helping. Some of my symptoms: white tongue coating, chronic mucousy feeling in my mouth, feeling of lump in throat, like there is always food stuck, dry mouth. Any advice will be greatly appreciated. Story 8. I honestly feel your pain cause I'm experiencing the same thing. Especially the try not to talk directly to their face bit. I've had this problem for about 6 years now, and honestly I avoided spending some quality time with my friends due to this. It also makes me very self-conscious and hyper-observant. Like, for example, with the range or distance of people in relation to myself. So yeah, I avoid most close convos. To spare them the smell and myself the shame and hurt. I've got a method you can try though. If you can, try to keep a drink on you to sip each time you feel the bad breath is back. I don't know why, but it's like drinking, or even eating something seems to neutralize the scent. Not for long though, about 30 minutes to an hour more if you keep talking, no joke. It's like keeping your mouth closed gives the smell more time to build, and so talking basically doesn't give it a chance to build back as much. if at all for that time. But man, I wish I knew this juice drink method earlier, as it would have saved me from consuming all those sweets, which I don't like to eat, as sweets really aren't my thing, to mask the scent. I hope this helps you, and or if even a bit, as I know what it feels like to be fed up with yourself over this. Take care and tell me how it goes when you try it. Story 9. I was in the 4-year relationship with my ex-fiancée, and she always complained about my bad breath. Until we decided to break up, because she was not happy, and she couldn't take it anymore. I tried everything that could possibly work, hoping to find a solution to my problem, but all was in vain. The problem still persisted. I had one of my wisdom tooth removed last year June, and the gum over the removal site smells really awful. The back of my tongue and throat feels dry, and there is a white coating on my tongue that always comes back maybe 2 hours after scraping. Please help me get my life back. Story 10. Hey, I understand you. I am a 28-year-old female with chronic bad taste in my mouth since childhood, and I think most of the time it's also bad breath, not only taste. I am actually a very passionate woman, but this matter is totally ruining me. It's slowly killing me. It's making me sick. I had 2 relationships and both men stopped kissing me after not even 3 weeks. They probably stayed with me because I have other good qualities. I was in tension all the time. When we hugged or cuddled, I always tried not to talk directly to their face. I chewed gums permanently, even in the bed, after brushing my teeth. Now I am single since 2 years, and actually I am a nice and beautiful woman. Sorry, should not sound arrogant, but all I can think about is my bad breath. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and the first thing that comes to my mind is my bad breath. And I am afraid of the next relationship, because probably that man will also stop kissing me after some weeks. My ex-boyfriends never had bad breath, and that made it even worse for me. I think it would be more easy for me if my boyfriend would also have bad breath, so I would not feel that ashamed. I have developed a real phobia because of the breath. I started to observe other people when they communicate to each other. I'm planning to see a psychologist because of this matter. Even if I will never get rid of the bad breath, it would be a huge release if at least I could stop thinking about it all the time. Do you still have your tonsils? It could be tonsil stones. Do you have a bad taste in your mouth? Do you have dry mouth? Try to brush your tongue with the toothbrush and toothpaste. In our case, a tongue scraper is not enough. Try not to eat sugar and milk products for 2 weeks and see if something changes. Not many people know this, but sometimes sugar can create a terrible smell. Story 11. Sorry you're going through this. I can relate with you. I'm a 30-year-old female, and I work in customer service and have to deal with people who can smell my breath through the holes of the glass protector. I once had a customer come in and hold a toothbrush and paste in her hand to prove a point. I knew what she meant, and it hurt me so deeply. All my coworkers know about my breath, so I talk less and always suck on lozenges during my shift. My confidence is gone, and I've stopped going on dates or wanting to engage with anyone, even my own family. It's ruining my life and I don't want to work because of it, but I have to pay my rent and eat. I have a really good dental hygiene routine and even use TheraBreath, but it doesn't help much. I can't afford to go to the dentist for at least a year, and I know I have issues in my mouth as well as my throat and nose, excuses mucus, acid reflux. I'm seeing my doctor next week, but I'm really fucking depressed, and I already have depression. See a doctor and dentist, please. I'm saving up for a dental visit. Og. Story 12. I had to confront this with a dear friend who was my hairdresser. I said something along the lines of, Bob, I love you more than anything in the world, but you have seriously bad breath, so I think you might have a health problem. I ran a few things by him, such as a dry socket, or that he needed to floss, or had food stuck in a cavity, etc. He was embarrassed but very thankful. No judgment at all, not yelling, not being demeaning or criticizing, just real concern from a good friend. He went to the dentist pronto and got it fixed and thanked me again. He'd had a cavity that was gunked up with old food. It happens, we can't always smell our own breath. He was a lovely fellow, and I miss him dearly, since he passed away a couple years ago from an undiagnosed heart condition. Story 13. My mouth has a permanent bad taste even after eating or drinking or brushing my teeth and using a mouthwash. It is not only embarrassing, I have also found that I don't want to converse much anymore. I have changed from a bubbly, chatty person to being quiet and depressed. Even writing this is making me upset. I've had the problem for many years and constantly eat mints or chew gum, though this doesn't help for long. I've been treated for fungal tongue with tablets and mouthwash, but these didn't help either. The back of my tongue feels dry, and my throat is always slimy. I have Crohn's disease, but I haven't had any symptoms since a bowel operation 11 years ago. I am desperate for a solution. Story 14. Bad breath is ruining my life and still is ruining it. So I am in high school. I have bad breath since ninth grade. I started getting my lung turn white, and the back of my throat smells like fart, and I can smell it if I open my mouth wide enough and stick my lung out, and always have a sour taste in my mouth. I am now a junior, and I am very moody. Because of this, I get angry easily, because I don't want people to talk to me. I don't want to be embarrassed every time I talk to someone. I see them make weird faces, because I know it kills me every time. I am very sad about it. I tried every possible solution on the internet, but none work for me. I don't tell anyone about it. I've been to the doctor without my parents knowing, and the doctor, and made a different reason to my parents, because I'm ashamed of it, and I told the doctor about my problem. He gave me some antibiotics. Work for 2 weeks, the happiest moment of my life. Even my parents noticed I was actually very confident in myself while talking to people and some girls even at work. I am a pretty good-looking guy, but that does not matter if people think you have bad hygiene. I was more active and more cheerful and more willing to go out. But those 2 weeks were the best times I can remember. Since the past 3 years, I have narrowed down my problems to post-nasal drip, tonsil stone, or my wisdom tooth. Most likely even all three, but as of now I cannot do anything about it, as those all cost money to take care of. Anyways, ask me anything since I spend most my time indoors.